Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host for Madness of the Pharaoh Horde. uh, this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. This one isn't that old. It's a little bit, but this one isn't that old. We're going to take a look at Age of Conan, Belit, number 1 from 2019. This is not what I was originally planning on doing. Originally, I was going to cover this issue of Xena from Dynamite. This is issue number 3. And this was a continuing storyline. Probably started with number 1. May have actually been a miniseries. I don't know, featuring this storyline, but this one issue right in the middle, it was without the rest of the story was completely unintelligible. I would not have been able to cover it. Had some decent artwork. May have had some. The writing may have been good in context with the rest of it, because just a little snippet, and I was gratified to see that it has a female creative team. And just as this book here, this is, as I said, Belit. I presume this writer is a female, either Tiny or Teeny. I don't know which. I'll say Tiny Howard was the writer, and the artist is Kate. Something I cannot pronounce is what it is, with this beautiful, beautiful cover illustration by Sana Takeda. So the primary creative team is all female. And now, for those who don't know who Belit is, this is part 1. So, and in the storyline, but this is the backstory of Belit, Queen of the Black Coast, the Pirate Queen of the Black Coast, from the Robert E. Howard story of the same name. And she was the lady love, probably his greatest love, even before, more than later his Queen Zenobia. He was still just a young man, and became a. This is when he latched on with her, and when he first went to sea as a pirate, he learned his pirating skills, his sailing skills from his time as a pirate with Belit. He was her first mate. It was from, and it was now in the Howard story, it started where they met when he came on board, and he was there for, I think, with her for something like 2 years, until they had something like that, and until they had the final part of the story was with her death, and most of if not all the rest of the pirates on her ship. Now, originally in the Marvel comics, they adapted the first part of that story. Then had I think it was like 3 or 4 years or so, maybe even longer, had stories of Conan with Belit, until finally they concluded that story with her death, before moving on to more Conan stories. And that was adapted and done by Roy Thomas. Now, of course, this is Marvel Comics. For a short time, Dark Horse lost the rights to Conan, and Marvel picked it up again for just a couple of years. They brought back the Conan titles, and included Age of Conan with Belit, and also Age of Conan with Valeria. And both of these characters were only in one story featuring Conan the Barbarian. But he brought the character was used more than that in comics and other things. And since they no longer had rights to Red Sonja, they blew up these other Robert E. Howard characters. So it's a beautiful cover here. And this now it's been a long time since I've read the story of Queen of the Black Coast. But I think they're playing fast and loose with the origin story and background of Belit herself here. If I remember, they gave a more detailed and different backstory for Belit in that original story. But I said it's been so long I can't remember. So I don't think this fits in with the Howard canon. Oh. So we'll just do a little bit. And the title is the chapter 1. The title is The Lost Verses. And this is from the Song of Belit, a lost verse. And then this is in Ascalon. It's a port city here. And we hear Belit's name being yelled at, and hear these kids cowering. It is Belit's father. She's looking for him. He's looking for her. They haven't seen her, and there's a clang, clang, clang. Well, she's out at the ship, out at his ship, the Tigress. He goes out, and they're talking. Here, she is only just a kid. Here, 13, 14 years old, maybe. It's hard to tell. And we find out that he is the Dread Admiral, and he was a pirate admiral, pirate king himself, years before, and such like that. And he sends her back to the shore, and he's right there. And tosses her the spyglass. That's funny. But, of course, remember, this is in the Hyborian age, so they may have had other inventions. Then, because she is being sent back for a lesson with Nayaga and her teacher. And then another time she's out and about and in the boat and rowboat, and he's calling her back for a lesson when he sees her father there, and these men come up and they whack him and haul him off. So she's rushing back to the pier, and she's running around and finds Nayaga, who is her teacher, and she quickly tells the story. And they took him this way, and there they are beating the crap out of him, have him half stripped, beating the crap out of him. And his father says, stop, don't come any closer. He says he is paying a debt. Just specifically what debt, we don't know. He tells Nayaga to take care of her and haul her back, and he does for her own good, and even slips her a Mickey to put her out so she's manageable, because she's a fierce youngster. So she wakes up and it says, "I've found your father, and he has been marooned on a sandbar out in the bay." And she rows out there. It said, "Is he alive?" I said, "I don't know." And this is a pirate punishment. So she gets out there, and he's staked out to this post, lashed to this post. She rushes, and he tells her not to free him. Says he is accepting his punishment. It's for pay. It's a debt. He won't say for what or anything like that. But he tells her to go back, and she says, "I won't go back, but I'll stay with you." So she stays with him, and finally he says, "Belit, I would not die like this," and she understands. And thus he dies at her hands, at his own behest, with a dagger that she has been carrying. She gets back to the pier, and so the admiral's ships are being torched, and many of them, and she gets on the Tigris. Others sailors are there, and they're pulling that ship out, and they snatch her. And there are other here have some a piratey song being sung, and we see someone on this other ship, and says, "Captain, yes." Says, "From and they come close to one another, and the Tigris, the sailors on the Tigris are saying that they've just come from Ascalon, saying that the port is open, and it's already been assaulted, and would be ripe pickings for you if you want. So we'll." And it says, "Oh, but we've got but then says, "Oh, but they've got slaves to sell. Are you interested in slaves?" So that's the word. And while this is when the new ship and their crew assault the Tigris's crew, and they rush down because they're slavers. They don't like slavers. And so they free the slavers and discover that Belit is all chained up and put in a box to help keep her mouth shut. And she identifies herself, and it says, and as said, "My father was the dread Admiral Atrahasis, king of the pirates." Said, "Is that so? And that would make you the pirate princess?" Says, "Nay, fop, the pirate queen." Well, here she is, just not very long later, and she already looks much more mature here, and she's basically she's on their ship and says, "Don't sell or scuttle or the Tigris, because I want it. It's my ship. I need it." He says, "For what?" She goes, "I need it for hunting sea monsters." And I forgot to mention, because she was rowing out earlier in the story, she was always rowing out looking for sea monsters. But it's more than that. And it says, "Sea monsters? How long has it been since anyone's seen one? Do you have a quarrel with a specific beast?" No. And then suddenly, wham! What's going on? And it's a sea monster. To be continued. And I never got any more. This is the only issue I ever got. I also got just one issue of Valeria, if I come across that, and I'll maybe cover that too. But then here in the back is the first chapter, or first episode of a prose Belit story, which I've not read because I don't have anything. It won't do me any good because I won't be able to finish it. But it's an interesting little tome, interesting little story. I enjoyed it. It doesn't fit in with Belit. It's not fantastic. It's not Roy Thomas. It's not Conan. But it is an enjoyable book. It's some nice artwork, especially this cover. But the interior artwork is nice, if slightly cartoonish stylized. But that's okay. So that's all I have to share with you this time around. And I want to thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, leave your comments down below. Did you ever get any of these Age of Conan comics, Belit or Valeria, or any of that other stuff? Let me know what you think of them, or the original Howard story featuring Belit. Anything like that, let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics, our